My name is John Anthony Chihak Soltero, and I am the anti hero, creator of the Bubba Patrol, and here with some closing thoughts to my personal 2021. Um, this was, as strange as it is to say, both a powerfully successful year for me and a really hard year at the same time. Possibly one of the most difficult years I've had. Um, and that includes 2020, which I know was difficult for a lot of us, and 2001, which was the year I was diagnosed with cancer. So this was the 20th anniversary year of my diagnosis. And this was also the year I decided to start working on getting better in my mental health, um, where I feel I had been working really hard at it and doing better. I feel like the events of 2021 propelled me into making the decision to go back to therapy and start getting the professional help I need to be better overall. 2021 literally started with me sitting on the couch watching movies with Foley and Grayson in their superhero costumes, Agnew at my side, taking some selfies, and we had kind of a breakfast lunch at my mom's. As menudo is the tradition, and I forget if I actually had menudo. Um, and I was just happy that Foley made it to 2021 with us. It was March when I knew and I was ready to say goodbye to Foley. And he was ready too. So on March 6th, one last time he put on his Mr. Whoopi cape and was a superhero until the end. And issue 4 is dedicated to Foley. And just an amazing way to try to work through that pain, which took a very, very long time to finish issue 4. Pages should have been completed in July, at least the line work, and I kind of failed to do so. I'm not exactly sure the reason, but I've been doing a better job listening to my mind and my body. And if I'm not up to the task, I don't do it. But I feel like that's also been one of my downfalls this year specifically, is that I will let myself cave a little too easily, and I'm not okay with that. The routine I used to have, I would be exhausted coming home from work and get into the gym and lift and do my cardio and get all of this stuff done. And I didn't really do that this year. had a health scare with a strange lump on my knee. Um, that, as with a lot of my health issues, I kind of ignore for a while. But turns out they did x-rays and stuff and they didn't find anything that they were too worried about. It's the knee that had cancer, and they said, there's just regular breakdown in your knee from all that trauma and all the radiation and things like that. So it looks about the same as it did 10 years ago, which is good. It hasn't deteriorated further. But got that health scare out of the way, I guess. Got in a car collision and had to deal with that and the fallout from that. Was able to save up enough money to have my master bath redone with a new vanity, new toilet, and new walk-in shower, which is really awesome. It feels like a really good accomplishment. And in September, two big things happened. Finally, after a good portion of time and thinking and grieving, I'm still grieving, we brought Chica into our family. And she came from the adult care home that my grandmother was in for the last almost 2 years of her life. She was the dog of one of the other residents who unfortunately could no longer care for her because of different health issues that she was having. And that woman's family was okay with me adopting her. And Chica has done a wonderful job being a part of this family and will be in the next series of volumes of the Paw Patrol as well. Grayson's been doing a great job being a big brother and teaching her the ropes of the household. And she's helping complete this family, which, after losing Foley, helps make the house feel a little bit more alive. My grandmother passed in September, just about a week or two after adopting Chica, and we were expecting it. She was 92, and not only was her health pretty rapidly failing, but she had a very, very hard life, mental health-wise. So I'm hoping that she's at peace. I'm not a believer in an afterlife. I don't know about everything that does or doesn't happen, but I don't believe in an afterlife. So I just hope that the pain and turbulence she felt during her life, her entire life, is quelled and is gone. And she's stronger and at peace. A month after that, my grandma's youngest, my aunt, one of my most favorite people in the world, died as well. And my aunt is one of the most important people in my life because I've been around her my entire life. She was special needs, had autism, and taught me, this is going to sound strange, but taught me not to be afraid of people with disabilities. Taught me not to be afraid of people who were different. And not only propelled me into the social work career that I'm in now, but all the work that I had done in the past in group homes and day programs, working with adults with developmental disabilities, the short time I worked with kids, um, women in transition who are survivors of domestic abuse, and now adults, older adults. Um, from a very young age, I told both my mom and my grandma that I wanted to be Lisa's guardian. And I know at first my grandmother thought that's a very nice gesture. Um, this is a nephew who loves his aunt very much. Um, but I don't think she took it too seriously until years and years and years went by, and I was still saying the same thing. And after my grandmother passed, my mom, who was co guardian with her, was going to begin the process of making me co guardian when she died. And that just hit me hard. And that is what made me realize you need to start to look at getting help. The loss, and in part, wanting to be her guardian is my way of wanting to protect her and make sure that she's taken care of. So there is a part of me, as silly as it may sound to somebody, who feels responsible for her death. And that is just the way my mind works. I began treatment and therapy in November, early November, and I've been going regularly. I haven't missed a session other than um, taking weeks off because my therapist was going to be out of town and wasn't sure how I felt about doing telehealth. But I did my first telehealth appointment this past week. Um, and one of the really nice things was ending the year with a session where my therapist could actually meet Agnew. As strange as it sounds, a 43-year-old man with a sidekick. Um, he's one of my best friends, and he's always been there. And she got to see and meet Grayson and Chica as well. And so that meant a lot to me. And two of my goals were for this year, or three of my goals that are written on my calendar behind me were finish issue 4, finish issue 5, and have the best year ever. I think that finishing or have the best year ever was really just wanting to bounce back from everything that happened in 2020. And this was probably one of the hardest years of my life, like I said. But in a way, from that loss, from that grief, from that pain and hardship came hope. Choosing to take those steps to get better. Choosing to continue with telling my stories with the Bubba Patrol. Choosing to bring a new dog into the home. And choosing to utilize the love and memory that I have for Foley and my grandma Lisa and Lisa into doing more and being better has been a huge part of my 2021. And in the spirit of the Bubba Patrol, that's what it is. These dogs, these heroes, are powered by hope. They they have their each unique and amazing superpowers, but they are powered by hope. And they are based, the concept of the Bubble Patrol is based not only on my love, but the need to tell this story and give them a legacy, because losing each of them hurts. When one of them gets sick, like Grayson did at the end of last year, and we found out he has a heart murmur this year, those things hurt because I never want harm to come to those I care about and those I love. But there are certain things that will happen inevitably that you can't change or stop. So it's important to remember that we do the best that we can with that. Um, I just want to say that in 2022, I hope, and my wish for you is that the best of your past is the worst of your future. And that you realize your limitations, and you realize when you need help, and that you seek out that help. But that you also realize your strengths. I never wish anybody harm or misfortune, but I do wish those life-changing events and moments that can be for the better, for us to find that strength in ourselves and that hope within our lives and our communities. So with that, signing off for 2021. We'll see you in the future.